Hello, welcome back. So in the last video tutorial, we were able to write the code to edit and update our tags, and it worked. Okay, so when I click on it and I try to change this, so I do something and then I click on update, it changes. So if I go here, I can see that has changed to what this. Okay, but what we couldn't do in the last video tutorial was how to update the to-dos. Okay, so how do you think we are going to do this? Because we have the to-do infos here. Okay, and this is the same list. Okay, that we use for the adding. Okay, and this time we are going to use the same thing for the updating. So if you check here in the what I did, okay, in previous videos was that I created a new list when the tax is what is not equal to now. That means when the tax when there is tax, okay, when the person click on the tax and then it goes to that page, I create a new list view here, and then this one too is a different list view. Okay, this is when the person is adding, and then this is when the person is editing. But I think if we do it this way, then it means we can't do what? We can't edit our application, I mean our to-dos the way we want to do it. So first thing first, I'm just going to make it one. Okay, I'm just going to use the to-dos that we use for the adding. So I'm just going to do it one like this. And then what I will do is I will come up here and then cut this code. I'll copy this code. Yeah, let me cut it from this build method here. Instead of doing it here, I'm going to cut it from here, and then I will come here, okay, inside the init. Okay, so we already have the code for checking what if there's tax on or not. So we see that we are inside, so we are doing it inside here. And let me just bring this one back here. I think it should be this way. Yeah. Now we have to get access to the model. And how do you think we are going to do that? Then it means we have to pass the model down to this side and then we can use it. Okay. So one thing is we can write a code here and say final main model and then say model here. Okay. So that's one way we can do it. And we can call this dot model here. So this time when we come here, we check if the task is not equal to null. If it is not equal to null, then we want to get the to-dos related to that model. So we say get the to-dos related to that or password null. So if the task is equal to null, okay, if the task is not equal to null, then get what the models, I mean the to-dos associated with that task. Else, if it is not equal to null, then put what empty list there. Okay. So with that one, we can just take this one out because it is already declared at the top as empty. And then we can do something here. Okay, we can check if the length is greater than zero, then we can put this there. Okay. Else we just assign this one to it, and it's already empty, so there's no need to assign anything there. So I think we can do it this way. And even this one, we are already checking here. So I think we can just ignore this and then we can just ignore this side because we are already doing the check here. So if it is no, then we won't do it. Okay. So I think it's okay like this. And I think it's here. So now, the moment we load this page, okay, it will first check if there's tax. If there's tax, then it is going to do what? Fetch the to-dos and put it into this list. Now we are not done yet. Let's just go back and see if it will still work the same way because I've changed it. So now I'm clicking on it and it still works. So we still get the thing here. When I go back and I click on the add, it's also come here and it still works. Okay, so let's just go back again. So now we have an error somewhere here. Okay, because now this time we don't need this again because we are not defining that. So I can click to save the changes and let's see. I click on it and I get an error somewhere, and let me just see something. I'm getting an error which For now, let's just open and see where the error is coming from. Okay, so get tax ID one. Yep, it's because I think let me just reload the whole thing again. I reload the app. Yes, and let me click on it, and I still get the error. Okay, so I think um it's getting the tax ID one. Of course, we have tax ID one there. Okay, so first thing, what I want to do is I want to make sure that this thing, let me just bring this one down here before, yeah, so because I want to get this. Okay, so you can see that in the debug console, this thing is still running, and I'm suspecting that is the cause of the error. Let me go to the tax page because this will work fine, but I think it's because it keeps on loading, so it's the cause of the error. Okay, so what we can do is we can just use a refresh indicator in on the home page first. So I'll come here and then the safe area. I will wrap this with a widget called refresh indicator. Okay, and this time I will use the on refresh. Okay, so when the person pulls the thing, now what do we want to do? We want to call the fetch all, fetch all, yeah, and we want to save it this way. Now we also have to go into the fetch all, which is this one, and we have to change this to future because we are using the um we are using the refresh indicator. We have to make sure that it's what is that way, and then I can save it here, come back, and let's go to the home page and then close this one for now, and let's save it. Let's reload and see if clicking on it will give us the same error again. Okay, and I'm reloading, and now we don't get anything because I comment this side. So I will now reload, and I think I have it here, and I you can see that it is still loading because we have to return something here. You have to return that this thing has what completed. So I would say return, maybe just let's just return true here, or let's just put it in the future because yep, we the refresh indicator will just take in the async. So I'll just say boolean here, and then when I save and reload the whole application again, it reloads, and then now when I pull to refresh, it should just yeah, and now it's gone. Okay, so I think that's okay for now. So now let's click on it again and see, and we still get the same error. And this is interesting because we can see it's saying the method to do was called on null. So let's check in our tax page. Get tax to do. Oh yeah, and the reason is because when we do this, okay, say final model, we are not passing the model. Okay, so we have to go into the home page, and in the home page where we go into what when we pass in the tax, we also have to pass in the model. Sorry, so that was the error. Okay, so model, and yeah, so now we can save it and reload again. I think yeah, so now I can pull it down and it comes here, and when I go back, and then you can see that now I'm not getting the error, and I'm not getting that kind of loading here. So I think for now it's okay. So using the refresh indicator is okay. So now I have this, and let me go back to my tax page. Okay, so in the tax page here, now on I'm doing this in the init state. Okay, so right where we go to the page, it fetches this. So how do we edit the to-dos here? So to edit the to-dos, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a gesture detector on the list view items. Okay, on the list view items. Let me just quickly search for list view. Okay, so on these items here, because we know that when we click on it, it will load into these to-dos, okay? And then we can have access to them. So I can wrap this to do with what a widget, which is the gesture detector. So gesture detector here. And then with this one, I can save and then I can put on tap, okay? If it is on tap, I just want to, and I just want to call, what do I want to do here? So when I click on this, I want to set the text here. So one thing to do is to make sure that we come here, and the controller for that is for the to do controller. I copy this and then I will come back to the list view where we have the on tab, put it here, okay, paste the and then say text, and then I want to set the text to what this. I hope you are following what I'm doing here. I'll just copy this line and then paste it here. So anytime I click on it, it should show me there. So let's see. I click and then it comes. I click on her and it also comes there. But this, let's say I want to now edit, let's say I'm editing the hair. Now I click on it. You see that it adds to the list. So because this will always append, okay, when you go and check in the unsubmitted function or method, unsubmitted here, you can see that we are adding, because we will get the value from here and then we can add. But how are we going to even know if we edited the thing or not? Okay, how are we going to tell that this is editing, this is addition? Okay, well, how are we going to do that? So I think one technique, if you have any other techniques of doing it, with my way of doing it, I think I can just create an integer variable here. Say, let's say, edit to do index, okay, and then I will save it to do what -1, because a valid to do index will be what can be 0, so I can't set it to 0 or 1, but I'll put it to -1 here. And then when I come to where I click, okay, I think to the to do item, let me just quickly search for to do item here. Now when I click here, I just want to check set the edit to do index to the index that we are getting here. Okay. Now this will assign the index to this, okay, and that will be okay. So now when I'm submitting, when I'm submitting, I first want to check if the edit to do index is not equal to -1, okay, then it means the value that is coming back is what is something that has been what edited, okay. So then I want to bring this, I want to do something like this, to do infos, and then I put the what, the edit to do index here, and then I can put the value there. But if it is not -1, but if it is equal to -1, else if the edit index equals the -1 that we assigned, then it means nothing has been changed or we are adding, okay, then we can add to it. You get my point. So I think this will be okay for now. Okay. And yeah, I think this should be okay. So I will save it and let me go back. Let me reload the whole thing again. Let me put down this to reload. Now when I click on it again, now let me click on this, haha, and I have it down here. So I want to change this to, let's say, back to haha, and you can see that it has now changed it, okay. But if I come here and I want to say something, I'm expecting this to add, and it doesn't add, it still changes the thing. Yes, the reason is we have to check something here, okay. When we submit, okay, when we are submitting, or let's say when we edit the value, okay, and this is what when we click on the to do item, it changes this variable to the index of whatever we click here. So right after assigning it, we have to change it back to negative what one to make sure that it's back to what it was before. Okay, so that we can know that we are either adding or anything. So let me just go back again, reload, and that's one thing I don't want. Okay, so I click on it, and then I come here again, has, and I'll just edit it here. Okay, I click on it, it edits. Let me try and then see if this time it will add, and it adds. Okay, so that's one way we can do this. Okay, so now I just want to go back again and then reload. Okay, it's already there, but I just want to reload, and it's already there. When I click on it, now I want to make sure that when I make the changes and then push it into the database, I get the correct data. So I click on it. I click on it, I get the has, and then I'll change. This is my first to do. Okay, and then I click on this. It changes there. I click on this one and I say this is also this is also my second to do. Okay, and I click on it, it changes that one. So now when I click on the check, I mean the there check button there, it should just update it. So I click on it and it say updating task and to do successful. So let's see if it changed in our database. So we didn't change the tax and then the title, so I think that one will remain the same. Okay, is this one, and then when I click on this, and you can see this is my first to do, this is also my second to do. Okay, so you can see that it is working, but when I come here, it's yep, here too is working. So I think yeah, so I think everything is working the way we expected. Okay, but what happens when we try to add? Because if you check the PHP API that we wrote here, okay, we are just updating. We don't have anything like insecting or anything. So this is also another challenge. What if the person decide to add more to dos to what we already have? Okay, so how are we going to do this? And I think I will come back to this. Okay, I'll come back to how we are going to do this. Okay, but before we do that, before we will do on the addition to what I mean upgrade to what we already have, I'm going to do the login, and then the registration is not important for the to do application, but it's just to show you how you are going to do that. If let's say you have a PHP API and you want to see how things will work. Okay, so I'll just do that in the next video tutorial. So I'll see you guys.